everything you know about aquarium lighting was all a lie. That's a bold statement to make. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the fish room and welcome to a fun discussion on aquarium lighting. So like I said, everything you know about aquarium lighting is a lie. Okay, that's a lie. Let's be honest here. This is a discussion I've been wanting to have for a while because I've had something on my mind revolving around aquarium lighting and how I can make it better for my situation. Now this is going to be the key part of this. I don't need my phone yet. We're going to get to that here in a second. When I built the fish room, I have a video on this showing this, I was looking for ways to light the tanks on a budget option while still being able to control it in a manner that I can set timers and schedules so they're not on 24/7, or I don't have to manually turn them on, turn them off, because knowing me, I'm gonna forget it. I've done that. You forget to turn your lights off, they run for 24 plus hours and you explode in algae in your tanks, right? So the lighting that I have for the fish room was these LED T5 shop lights connected to the Casa Wi-Fi plug, and they've been great. I've been running the fish room for that, for almost a year now, practically, with no problems, actually. They've been fantastic lights in the fish room. I've grown all the floating plants I can possibly imagine. I've grown other plants. I've had numerous species of fish breeding in the fish room, so that hasn't affected anything. But I started to see other applications of lighting and wanted to make some changes in the fish room, and I found a very unique way to do it. Now this is more of a discussion around lighting my fish room. It can be applied in ways if you're lighting one or two tanks, and we'll talk about that as we delve into this discussion. So when I built the fisherman, literally we built this from scratch. I had the ability to have my brother, who's an electrician, did all the electrical work. I had him, he installed our ceiling fan for us, then he installed 2 can lights in the fish room for us. Now the can lights were in here, just extra lighting in the room. I used them if I was working in here, filming in here, right? I could have more overhead lighting, better that arrangement. But then I've been using the LED T5 shop lights on the schedule with the Casa Wi-Fi timer to turn on at a certain time and turn off at a certain time. The problem is it's an instant on and an instant off. And oftentimes you do that instant on. I've watched the fish scatter and run around the tank and run into things. So it's a very harsh on. When I went and toured Rainbow Shrimp, which is a fantastic tour, Cody did an amazing job building out his small shrimp room, fish room. He had a cheap lighting, like an iridescent light, just a cheap clip-on light with an LED bulb from Home Depot. It was like 10 bucks, hanging in the center of his room, set on a separate timer from all of his other lights. And his idea was that would turn on first, illuminate the room just enough to kind of start waking the fish up, waking the shrimp up, getting their metabolisms going, he would call it, kind of get them ready for the day. Let that run for about 30 minutes, then the rest of the lights would turn on. Now you're gonna say, well, Trent, they already have lighting systems that can do that for you. Phoenix has a 24/7 one, Fluval has a 24/7 one. As you start looking around though, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 13 aquarium lights running in the fish room right now. If I were to do all of that with Phoenix 24/7 Plus or Fluval 3.0, I'll let you do the math. That's astronomically high in lighting all my tanks in here, right? Now if you have one set tank, sure. Fluval 3.0, fantastic light, right? I use those on my old 220 gallon tank, phenomenal, where I could set the ramp up time, ramp down time, turn off. And I know people have had a lot of success with the Phoenix 24/7 lights too. Now, we now can move into, if you're lighting one tank, sure, LED T5 shop light. What is it? The Nicrew lighting, the Phoenix Stingray lights, all work really well, even though they're the instant on, instant off. You connect that to a simple timer. You connect that to a Casa Wi-Fi plug. You have a great light for your system. Now, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to say that's a bad light, because I've successfully bred all my fish in the fish room with these instant on, instant off lights. But after touring rainbow shrimp, it gave me an idea of what if I could light the fish room, then have an intense lighting period if I choose to, and would that affect the breeding behavior of the fish? But started to give me more insight of, could I light my fish room better to make it more of an environmental based lighting for the fish? So it got me thinking, and I went on a hunt, and I found something that is amazing, and I am very happy I found it. And before I show you the product that I'm now using in the fish room, you can get actual light switches that are, I think, from the same Casa brand, that you can set lights on timers and different things. But again, because I built this room and I was very fortunate that we had LED can lights already installed, I found these Phillips LED lights at Home Depot, like $15, $17 per light. So for $30, I was able to light my entire fish room in a way that I really think is going to show some beneficial changes. Now, I have no scientific data to back this up. I've been doing this for about a week now with them installed. I haven't seen a significant increase in breeding, but I've seen different behaviors from my fish. They seem less stressed. They seem more lively. They've just kind of been just cruising along at a steady pace. So what this is a smart Wi-Fi LED can light. So I was able to install them without any modification to the lights because that's how they're set up for. Super easy install. I mean, it's literally a pop them out, pop a new one in, screw it in, ready to go. What's awesome about these though is through the app, now I can actually control the brightness and the temperature of each light. So let me show you that now here to show you really how good these lights are for the price. Now this is something, if I have the opportunity to use these in the next fish room, I will absolutely light the next fish room with these, but still have lighting systems over the tanks for filming purposes. It is nice to have lights that I can use to shine down in the tank to film with, but let me show you how cool this app is and how easy these lights are to use. Okay, so the app you need to download, it's on the box, it's called Wiz Connected. So Wiz Connected, W-I-Z Connected, is the app that runs these LED lights. So let's load up our app. Now this is nice too because you can actually set it to like what room it's in, what area of the house it's in, and connecting these to your Wi-Fi, incredibly simple. I did the manual connection that has you turn the lights on like 3 times, super fast, step by step, follows you through, very simple instructions. Now once you get them set up, from my phone, check this out. It takes a minute. I can turn them completely off, right? Both lights I can kick off. Very nice. Both lights I can turn on. Now that's not an instant on off, right? It takes a minute to kind of communicate with each light. But what I love about these is you now can control the brightness of the lights. I can decide how visibly bright I want these lights to be. I can drop them all the way down. I can turn it all the way up. It's so, I think I now can do it in the same time frame here. Maybe I broke it. All right. There we go. Then you can control all the lights set up in a room at the same time here. So let's try this again. So I can turn it all the way down. I can turn it all the way up. Now what I really like about this, you can choose the Kelvin rating of the light. So right now I can go full daylight, right? Kind of washes me out a little bit. I can go all the way down to a warm white, add that nice red tone back to me, but it's also just however you want your fish room to look. Now what's even better about this, the one thing I love about the Casa Wi-Fi timers is you can set up schedules. It turns on at a certain point and it turns off at a certain point, and you can do it where it can turn on for 5 minutes, turn off for an hour. You can set it whatever intervals you want it to do, but you can't add the ramp up, ramp down timers on just standalone lights unless it has it built into that, right? But with these LED lights, these can lights, you can come into a schedule and you can set up a schedule for these lights to turn off and then, or excuse me, to turn on and then turn off whenever you want it to. The best part is though, you can do what's called, where it's a ramp up. It's actually like, I think they call it like wake up, to where you can actually set it to be, I found it, hang on, I gotta find it again. It was awesome when I actually found out like that this would work in the way I wanted it to, is you can make it ramps up for a certain amount of time, then it ramps down for a certain amount of time. So I now, with these two lights in the fish room, I can simulate an entire 24-hour day without any expensive lighting for $30. I found a way to do this. So on my next fish room, if I have can lighting, or if I can change it out to can lighting, I'll put these down the entire fish room, light the fish room that way, and then use something like these LED T5 shop lights to light the tanks individually if I choose to. But this was such a simple app to use, to where, like I say, I have my lights, they kick on at 7:30, 12 hours later, 7:30 at night, they kick off again. But I did find a way to have, there was a ramp up thing I found. Oh, where was it? Maybe it's right here, to wake up. That was somewhere. Trust me, they work. I won't mess with things now. I did find that though, but the ability to do that was awesome. Now that I have, in my opinion, a better understanding of how lighting works for fish, that if I can give them a better scenario on lighting, I think I can increase productivity in the fish room. So again, very, very simple. I could be way off course with this because I've bred so many fish with lights straight down on top of it, but now I found a different way to light the entire fish room while still having the option to light individual tanks. Let me know, what is your opinion on lighting a fish tank? Do you think it matters if there's a ramp up time, ramp down time? Do you think it affects the fish with the instant on, instant off? I love hearing your insight to these. And if this helped you at all, please leave a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, because we do videos like this every week. And I think this is kind of a fun one. This has been on my mind now for months, but I finally found a way to implement this into the fish room in a way that just, it works. It works so well. And I've had such good success with this already. And success is relative, right? How do you measure success? But the more time I spend in my fish room observing my fish with this new lighting system, in my opinion, in my experience, my fish look healthier. It's crazy to say that, but they actually do. So guys, thank you so much for watching. And again, I will talk to you guys in the next one.